All right, welcome back. We are, as usual, late, but this time it's my fault. I'm Andrew, and with me, as always, is John.
Hi.
Say hello, John. John was eating
Hello.
popcorn. It sounded wonderful on the microphone. So last week when we played this, there were a million red herrings. We learned a lot about how turn-of-the-century British pawnbrokeries work.
You mean the safest and most secure banking form in all of London?
Exactly. And then there was this very stylish-looking man who was trying to steal something, and we figured it out. And I think that's we finished the correcting Herlock's great deduction. And
yes.
We paused. So I guess we'll find out what are the ramifications of our discoveries.
Mr. Schultz, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind. Yes, thoughts. Pray tell, Miss Susano.
How do pawnbrokeries work? I just don't get it. Can someone explain it to me again?
Oh my god. If they have to explain that again, I'm going to lose my mind.
I guarantee if there is a court trial, it's going to come up 5 times at least.
Oh my god. Well, according to what Mr. Winnebank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat could have been redeemed, was it not?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today is 15th April, so 2 months ago today would have been 15th February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see. What? But that suggests...
Yes, 15th February.
The day after Valentine's Day!
Is precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place.
That was me, but it works either way, so...
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I didn't catch
you can read this one.
At 10:30 in the evening.
It's precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding. Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. Oh, fuck, I'm turning into the duck from...
yeah, you're trying to get Birdley.
Yes. You are, of course, the literary, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However... Oh! I must insist that you hand over the music box disc now.
Ugh.
I'm afraid the gun will be quite operational by the time your friends arrive. Shame for you to return the data.
What do I do? Do we fucking die if we say absolutely not? I kind of want to see what happens. If I assume that Susanna will hand it over, or some shit. But let's see. All right, do I die? There are some things a man must protect at all costs. This may well be one of those things. And again, it may not. Oh shit! Mr. Winnebank! This is my shop. I'll kill the customers here. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I shall take my own life. Mr. Winnebank, no, that's not really helpful. Okay, who do you think? I think this could be Gregson, the police officer, which I think was you.
All right, that's enough.
Oh, we called it. Inspector Gregson.
Inspector? That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines.
I wonder if it was the fucking camera.
Oh my god.
Or maybe the Lestrade girl ran off and... I don't know.
So we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all of this about, eh?
Oh, praise me, you're here at last. I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. For some reason.
It would seem you have the upper hand. Right, you lot have got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy. Petty? Mr. Windibanks very nearly met with his end. Yeah, by his own gun, as far as I can tell.
Oh dear.
And the whole of Britain could meet its end if I don't get to the bottom of this case I'm supposed to be working on.
What? What on earth is the case, Inspector?
Spare no detail, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter. It's nothing to do with you lot.
What case could possibly destroy the entire country?
I mean, we are a few months too early for World War I, so...
The only thing I can think is, like, it's a case about, like, Queen Victoria doesn't have the rightful claim or something. Like...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or well, it has to be something about the Crystal Exhibition, right? Because, like, that's, the whole thing. But I don't see how that would be so dramatic that it would,
Yeah. Someone is embezzling all of the money or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station.
It's illegal to be that fabulous.
But of course, Inspector.
Ah! He's getting away!
What?
Get after him, lads. Where's all the beat officer to?
There's fucking, like, 6 people in that room.
Nope. He just
Spun around.
flamboyantly, flailed about and escaped.
Sir! There's, like, one door. And there was a cop there. What the fuck?
There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently.
Yes, that's what will bankrupt the crowd.
Yeah.
So we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble.
Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed.
Now then, Mr. Permanently in Mourning.
Oh, yeah?
I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGill that's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, don't! Don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. It's mine!
I'm sorry, miss, but there's a warrant out for your arrest. But anything belonging to the Gilded has to be taken as evidence now.
It's evidence.
If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector.
Eh. And so we handed Mr. McGilded's disc to Inspector Gregson. So I just had an epiphany or something completely unrelated, and I feel really stupid. So the floor in my apartment is not even because this house is 100 years old.
Yes.
And like I can't sit exactly where I want to sit relative to the desk because of the tilt
So
rate.
did you
So
move the desk?
what I realized now is I can just move the desk slightly to the right, so that the chair's natural resting position is in the middle of the desk.
That is some big brain.
I have lived here for 4 months.
Oh man, that is definitely a big brain.
I know what I'm doing after the stream. Oh my god. and were summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. To be continued. Investigation Part 2. April, the Baker Street.
Dum dum.
Dun dun. Wait, is this Paul Mercury like downstairs from Sherlock or something? Like,
Yep.
I guess. See, that's why I hate grown-ups. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take stuff away from you.
Oh, really, Miss Lestrade? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm?
What?
Oh my! Surely you were given that.
Yeah, the D let me keep it after I looked daggers at him for long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, "Go on, then, have it," before telling me to the scarper. Always pays off, giving people a look like you ate them. I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble one day. What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc, mind.
The music disc?
Yes, Susato, welcome to the game.
But Mr. Windibank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm going to go have another bash. Give him a long, odd stare.
I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Windibanks again today.
Why not? That's not fair. It can't be helped, I'm afraid. Police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Windibank. But that disc mine. I had the ticket for this coat and it was in the coat's pocket. And there should be something else and all. That's what that rotten cove said, ain't it? Yeah, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Well, then that's mine too. Whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck.
Miss Lestrade, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day.
Yeah, it's all your fault, Sholmes.
So, what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening?
Will we go to the venue? Eh?
Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure. And I might entertain you with the modest violin recital.
No, Ta.
Oh!
Why would I come around your place, eh? Have you lost your head or something? Scamper.
Oh dear. She's gone.
Having reviled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add.
I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway.
Interesting.
Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come.
Very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guest at the dinner table this evening.
And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too.
This Sholmes, but it still works.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry?
I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you two.
Oh, how exciting! What is it?
If I tell you, it's not a surprise.
Oh well, you know. You shall have to wait and see, Miss Susato. Until later then.
I guess do we get examine stuff or we could just go home? Let's see if we find anything useful. Look at all the different things in the window of this shop.
Oh, that's Windibanks. The pawnbrokery!
We were literally just there. It looks much smarter than a pawnbroker's in Japan, doesn't it?
Yes, you're right. I find pawn shops at home rather unapproachable, personally.
Reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable.
What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know that they were Daft Punk fans.
Oh, it's literally next door.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Okay. It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Shulm's office. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this.
Oh, I know. To actually be sharing accommodations with the world's greatest detective. If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I will have not one regret. Wait, but you've been in front of a court of law.
I think as a defendant.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd be happy to defend you, of course.
I guess we just have to move?
I guess so. "15th April, 3:46 p.m. Schultz is sweet. Dun dun dun.
Ah, Susie and Rudo, come in, come in.
Good afternoon, Iris.
Thank you so much for breakfast this morning.
So we were in there, like, from breakfast until 3:46 p.m.
Yeah, I mean...
learning about pawnbrokeries.
Oh, don't mention it. Oh, goodness, look at the time already.
I'm busy as always.
I am. And preparing everything for dinner this evening.
Already? You're obviously cooking something special, are you?
Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is, go on? You'll never guess.
Look at those little eyes of hers shining.
Oh dear. It is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Ginny! Isn't that exciting? Oh, what is it? Yes, what a wonderful news!
Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea.
I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional.
Oh yeah, that does sound like fun.
I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you, Mr. Naruhodo?
By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Shulm's up to?
Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back.
Is he depressed again?
Oh my god.
Hello, Mr. Shulm's.
I beg that you won't speak to me.
Sorry?
I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything.
Yeah, I see.
Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes. Really does.
Said the 10-year-old.
Yes. Mr. Schultz and Iris have something of a parent-child relationship, don't they?
This is a really bizarre and unhealthy dynamic.
Yes, let's hope that's all it is, and not to think in it anymore.
Yeah, since Iris is clearly the parent here.
Yep.
Come to think of it. God, I'm trying to hit the menu.
I like that how she's standing. It looks like that knife is stuck in her head.
I didn't see that. That's awesome. I wonder where her real parents are.
What's the matter, Runo? You have ever such a funny look on your face.
No, it's nothing.
That's just racist.
Yeah.
I know what it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes, you're wondering? Am I right?
Close enough. How? How did you...
Oh, Runo, I can read you like a book.
This girl's dangerous.
Don't worry, you can ask me anything, I won't mind.
So, by Jenny, you mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the McGildy case 2 months ago, right?
Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Although after that trial, I invited her back here, and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends.
Oh, hee hee! What a lovely tale!
Yes, and now if I bump into her on the street, she wants away as fast as she can.
Oh!
And I chase after her down the back alleys.
Interesting
Can
idea
you
of
even know
friendship.
here somewhere? Yeah.
And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed.
Oh!
There are so many beautiful colors in the world. Jenny wants me to make a whole rainbow.
Wow, liberals taking over everything.
Subtext, subtext, subtext.
I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you?
Yes, that's right. I'd got bored of it anyway. Holy oil rats. The same way when I shoot him with it now.
Poor Hurley.
Oh, I can't wait for Jenny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited.
I just hope she does actually come. Nope, and I hit the menu button again. Yeah. 3 times in one episode. Let's go.
Oh my god. I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you?
Okay, I think I touched on this before, but I picked a dialogue option and then she spoke up. Is that kind of funny? Like, my
Yes.
character didn't ask her about it. She just knew that was what I wanted to talk
Are you
about.
there?
Yeah. Can you hear
Hello?
me? Hello. Oh.
Oh, okay, wow. Yeah, it kind of froze there for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, but you asked if it was weird that you clicked a dialogue option and she spoke up. And
Yeah.
I would say that's
It's
correct.
but it's happened before. It's just it's a little bit like, wait a minute. I didn't ask you a question. Like, you just started talking.
Yes.
Well, it has crossed my mind that where are your real parents?
My mommy and daddy aren't with me anymore.
Ah!
Oh,
Mommy passed away when I was born. And at around the same time, my father, well, he had to go to a faraway land because one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley? So then, wasn't the victim of the first case a guy named Wilson who was British?
Yes.
Yeah, is it gonna end up being her dad?
I assume so.
Because I thought we thought that was gonna be Watson, and then we found this character who's Watson, so maybe they're actually related.
Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysteries cases together.
Should have mentioned that before.
He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chase over there.
Really? He recorded them all?
So, you mean it's true, Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it? So, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh,
No.
yep.
So Mr. Shum's partner was your father.
Exactly. And he told me when I wasn't allowed to look in the chest.
What if
But
it's...
that only made me want to look even more.
Oh.
So I opened it up.
I was gonna say, what if it's like his body?
Oh
my god. Oh no.
And found your father's memoirs and skull.
Yeah.
Yes, so I asked Hanley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. But then he told me, that's when I found out that the author of all those accounts was my father.
So Iris's father was Mr. Shelm's partner. Iris's father. She did it
I
again.
practically lived with Hurley all my life. It was tiny when he took me in. So, it came as quite as a shock. When Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy, I mean...
Oh. It must have done.
I wonder why Mr. Schultz chose to tell you. And at such a young age.
Alright, it's time to derail this conversation. Why do people hide the fact that their kids are, like... It's weird to me that, like, it's always like, I'm adopted, no! Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
it's weird that they keep it a secret in the first place. Now, disclaimer, I have an adopted brother, but they couldn't...
I was gonna say,
They
there's no
couldn't
way
keep
they
it for
could've did
him,
that.
because he was 7, and he's black. So that would be a little weird, but...
So wait, I'm not white or American?
So, you know, it would be kind of difficult to pull that off. But, like...
Yes.
And
I mean,
that...
mom was adopted, and I want to say early on she knew. I think it was around like 7 or 8. And I think Grandma and Grandpa waited until around that age because she would be able to understand.
Right, yeah, like, you know, like when they're like 2 years old, they probably won't even get it. But, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, not like a shocking twist. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Like, it's just weird. It's a weird trope that sometimes is true in real life. So I don't know. Anyway,
Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me.
God, 4 times.
Oh!
Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can't just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes.
Right.
Anyway, I was fascinated when I read Daddy's Diaries.
Oh, so in one of the future Ace Attorney games, there's a character who actually, like, he has a supernatural ability to notice things. So I wonder if they're related. Like, one of the lawyers is like, his whole gimmick is like, he can spot people's tells and stuff. It'd be kind of funny.
Does he have red hair?
No, I think he's brown hair. I don't remember. His name is Apollo Justice.
Oh.
But like his like parentage is like a big deal too. So maybe it's related, maybe it's not. I don't know.
That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, actually.
I'd always assumed Mr. Schultz simply told you all those thrilling stories.
Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solves a case, it all but vanishes from his mind.
Oh, let's see.
The other day, I was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he had just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. God. It was quite a shock for everyone.
You can say that again.
You share your father's surname, don't you, Miss Iris?
That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. I learned from his diaries
it's him.
that he's a doctor of medicine, you see.
Okay, so it's him.
Yeah.
So the woman who killed him is going to be related somehow, like she's his other daughter, or like she's a Moriarty, or like something.
That's what prompted me to study and study so that I could earn a doctorate as well.
There's his father. He went to some distant land. I wonder how long it'll take for me to connect the dots. As a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. I forgot how much of a Chad this judge was.
Oh yeah.
The court will now hear the trial of Ryonosuke Naruhodo. Actually, it should more like kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. That's right. Visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. So what if they, like, what if he's like, oh, I've never heard of that person? And then she's like, oh, you're lying. Oh, shit. Like...
It goes all the way up to the top.
Miss Usato.
Yes.
Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time.
I think that would be for the best. Ah, my dear fellows! How good to see you!
He's got the cocaine's back. He's
Yeah.
good again.
He even kind of has that glazed over look.
Yeah.
Mr. Schultz! Why ever did you make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you?
We saw you like 5 minutes ago. Like, we were literally outside your house, and then we walked in your house. Like, we've been with you. We've been with you for most of the day.
Goodness, really? Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Like the light, like the shading on his cheek, even looks like he fell, like he his head fell in a pile of cocaine. It's got like a little white sheen on it.
Do tell me, Mr. Schultz, is your violin unscathed? My violin? Whatever are you talking about, dear madam? Oh, never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you.
My violin!
Behold, my dear fellows. Oh, another music box disc. No, not another disc, Miss Usato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. Mr. McGilden's disc. Oh my. Then
what's it doing here?
You see, I stole it.
Ha! Crime!
You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have an undeniable turn for detection, I may well be even more adept at larceny.
Oh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your big marketing assistant. And Runo could be our go-to lawyer if we ever get out caught.
Right.
Plus, Susie had such beautiful handwriting, she could write all our menacing crime notifications.
Yes! Be delighted.
Everyone is way too into this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna pretend this conversation never happened, I think.
A smart move as a lawyer. I also like that Susato reacted to your thought.
Yeah, she nodded at it. Well, it's like a whole running gag that, like, Naruto thinks
yeah.
he's thinking, and he's just talking out loud. Like, not even like a whisper. I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. It's like he swapped it out with the one in the the machine. But then I don't know what, he cleaned up the bloodstain too or something. I don't know, whatever.
Oh yeah, blood doesn't matter. You see.
Yeah.
Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this.
You just bribe him with a chocolate bar? Is that it?
Oh my god. That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Holmes.
Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken.
If you will humor me, my dear fellows. Cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. I'll be taking that whatever it is, Magilda, down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over.
Oh, yes, of course.
If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not?
Yeah, you did. We didn't animate it, but you did. But I still don't understand.
It was precisely at that moment I summoned my one and only friend into action, Bahamut. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars like this.
Oh, okay.
Wait, those discs are huge.
I can't tell how... Maybe it's a huge bar of caramel. Oh, well. Also, you got blood in your candy bar, which is kind of gross.
Well, and how would you cast from a caramel bar?
That's amazing. The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel.
Indeed. This caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting. The result of a precisely controlled solution. How extraordinary! Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press and its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment.
Yes, it sounds illegal.
From the image, I was able to create this.
So, like, breaking into somebody's house, right? Not like breaking in, like, forging a key and going in would still be illegal. But would copying someone's key be legal?
I think you can copy their key.
Like, especially like if you didn't have to steal the key in the process, like.
Yeah, I think as long as you didn't have to steal the key.
I drank water wrong, excuse me.
I confess, I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played.
Yeah, like, so the hype this disc up so much, but like, what can it possibly be? Right? It's gonna be like do 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 do.
It's the
like,
Enigma machine.
Yeah. Like, is it gonna put like a full like voice recording out of a music box? Like,
oh, somehow it's gonna be so absurd. Like, it's going to be the solution to whatever the crime is.
Yeah. It's like, I'm on fire! Ah!
It wasn't! I'm not dead after all! I hit myself! Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes, what music does the disc play? Screams! Well, unfortunately, I have no idea.
No idea?
None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellow?
Yes, we
only talked about it about 3 times.
Yeah. Is it? Can we just go back to the shop and buy the
plug it in
machine? Yeah. No, I'm afraid not. I have a memory of a goldfish.
Goodness, you don't know, you know.
This is exactly the same graphic we used last time.
Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberances pluck the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. Their first music boxes to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it.
But over time, a new type of player was produced, which uses discs such as these. With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide, all around the globe. Why, exactly! Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result.
It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music, even when no performer is present.
But it's the very success of invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem.
Oh, the whole format thing they're talking about. Like, they don't know what the correct format, like the right machine model or whatever for this disc is.
Yeah.
What do you mean? But we're going to find one, like, in McGilda's house or something.
Yeah. As you may imagine, the construction of the firm's music box does not match that of another. And we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There's no resolution of the problem. I'm afraid it's quite intractable.
Oh, I see. So that's why.
Naturally, I tested the disc in the few music boxes I have at my disposal. But as you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one.
Trying to see if I recognize the music or anything. It's kind of spooky.
Mm-hmm. So, I am presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one!
That's early for you. Always taking things too far.
Or is it just like McGilda's mixtape? Like, it doesn't have any information. He just tried to write a song, like...
Oh my god. It's just a collection of Irish tunes.
But my dear girl...
Oh, but my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution.
Surely all the different types of Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? He's gonna be like, I don't care, I'll just pawn them all.
Oh my god.
Well, yes, that's certainly true. In the worst case, I shall have just to ask you to vacate the attic room.
What? To make room for all the stuff.
Yeah.
Magnus McGilded.
Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon.
Yeah, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. Time for a flashback.
Yep.
Mr. McGilded perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows. Still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial.
The newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case.
I mean, it is unsolved by the way, like, they didn't convict anyone for it, like, right? Like,
Yeah.
they still know who actually did it.
Yeah, he went out acquitted.
Yeah.
Or mistrial.
Murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. Although Mr. McGilded was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not.
Appear the case is not yet closed.
Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Jenny will be here before long.
Thank you, Iris.
Oh, well, you must let me help you then.
Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do.
I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it?
Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker.
Yes, you may be right.
Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windibank said before. He'll kill himself.
Yeah.
He said he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he?
No, it's not hers. It's going to be her dad's.
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah, he definitely mentioned it, and it was in a trunk, like the one that in the middle of the room. Mr. Sholmes, the latest tale of otherworldly mysteries lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe. Oh,
So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was.
Oh, yes. The idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windibank's storeroom, gathering dust.
My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it. More secure than a bank's vault.
And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was that safe and secure?
I mean, yeah, he's just an idiot.
Yes. Well, there may be occasional mix-up.
Caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now.
Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story, Hurley?
Oh, and that was the intro, too. The
Yeah.
giant hound. There's so many plot threads going on right now. Like,
Oh, it's so exciting, the Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it.
what'd she say?
The Hound of the Baskervilles?
Yeah.
Ah!
What's going on here? Well, they didn't mention that. Did they mention the hound?
They just said the Baskervilles.
Yeah. Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room? Like, maybe like... So, I forget, did Herlock and Iris mention the hound at all?
Hmm.
Okay, so Susanna knows about the hound part. It's probably related. So it's either like she snuck into the shop and read it, like while everyone was distracted, or it's part of that letter she got at the start of the case that she was
Yes.
mysterious about.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Susie, what did you just say?
Ah!
You said the Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title?
Well, that's... I can see the future!
It's because Mr. Zato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course.
But Runo, the Hound of the Baskervilles, has never been published.
Was that the first one? It's one of the early. It's one of the early ones, isn't it?
I think so.
What?
When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet.
I don't understand.
That's why he said that he'd keep it safe. Until it was right time for the story to be made public, you see.
So that's why the manuscript is at Windibank's?
And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on?
Ah!
Lestrad's gonna be here and we'll totally speak about this.
Yep.
What is it, Mr. Sholmes?
It would appear our guest has arrived.
Nailed it. Miss Lestrade. This was a bad idea. I knew I weren't welcome. I'm going. No, wait, Miss Lestrade. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris? Haven't we, Iris?
Oh yes, just wait there, Ginny. We'll have everything ready to jimmy. Come along, Susie.
It just like very pointedly gets the gun out for no reason. Come along, Susato.
We have things to do.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
Oh god, she did the weird, like, pivot.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to see you here, Miss Lestrade. Please make yourself at home.
Don't stand in the doorway, my dear. Come along in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? I won't take no for an answer.
Metal Summit is it? Cat.
Meow.
I fucking love the bow tie. Meow. That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholm's violin performance was in no way meddlesome. And Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Jake in the chat just says, Gary. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night.
Well, someone's gonna die.
Oh yeah. 15th April, 9:34 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. Dun dun.
Dum-dum.
Alright, Susato. Spill the beans. Oh no, Jake says, would be a shame if all these plot threads were left open for another game. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Please no.
That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Iris's cooking was truly divine.
And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholm's violin even now.
Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Now, son, could I consult with you about something, I wonder?
This is a consultancy. What's the matter, Susato-san?
It's about the telegram I received.
Ah. The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose.
The same. I've been summoned.
In attack position. What? Summoned? What do you mean?
The telegram was from Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has asked to see me.
The Lord Chief Justice? When?
Tomorrow morning.
What? Then we have to start preparing at once?
Oh, no. That won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone.
Alone? This is not suspicious whatsoever. What on earth for?
Because I'm a better lawyer.
Realistically, I should have been the main character.
I suppose I shall find out tomorrow.
God, imagine if it's like we have to like face her in court.
I think it's more likely she'll be framed or something. Like,
Yeah.
let's see. What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. That would be a good twist, though, if the final case is against her in court. I don't know how it would make any sense, but it'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, we have to prosecute her, not defend her.
Oh. Knock knock. Oh, who could that be, I wonder?
Good evening, friend.
Ah, Iris. Hello again.
Gina, too.
Yes, Ginny's going to stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me.
Gay.
Gay?
Isn't that right, Ginny?
Well, yeah.
lovely. Let me make a pot of tea.
You know, I've learned so much today.
Oh, what? In particular?
The power of friendship. All those things Ginny showed us. Wasn't it wonderful? And how pawnbroking works in early or late Victorian era London.
Oh, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques? We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we?
I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it.
You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour?
Well, you see, I came to return this.
Oh god, you stole the bracelet. Wait, what? That's mine!
Oh, however did you...
I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius.
Wait, so was she like an acting lawyer this evening?
So anyway, here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright then, good night.
Yeah, good night.
So this is your office, is it?
This is literally in your house.
Yep.
Like, you have been here before.
And that you helped organize
Yeah.
for us to use.
What do you think, Ginny?
I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a loyo. With a woyo what lives in this place. Holy fuck. I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a woyo what lives in a place like this.
Yes, me too.
Seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about.
I suppose. She probably wants to talk about the
The
manuscript.
Yeah, I suppose she probably does. The manuscript.
Iris,
I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me?
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, also your dad's dead. I forgot we discovered that.
Oh, yeah.
I need a little more time, please.
So it's not from the letter. What the fuck? What is going on?
Alright, I understand.
Okay, okay. It's connected to... I'm betting it's connected to Kazuma's mission. It's a secret ancient Japanese yokai that the Japanese government unleashed on Britain. And they changed their
Oh my
mind.
God.
So it's a secret mission to get back the demon. And return it to the shrine in Tokyo or whatever.
You know, I would initially be like, no, that's insane. But with this game, why not?
I hope I haven't made you feel awkward.
Oh no! Not at all, Iris. Not at all.
I don't know what all this is about, really, but... It's a story you made up, is it, Iris? This manuscript, or whatever you call it?
It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries.
Daddy's?
Yes, we get to go over it again.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't suppose I've mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but
Oh my god.
my daddy was Hurley's assistant once, his partner,
Hey?
Dr. John H. Wilson.
Whatever his last name is.
They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together.
Is that right, mister? Apparently so. She told me, so I'm not the authority on this topic. I was as surprised as you are, though. Is it that hard to believe? Like, it seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah, I mean, why else? I mean, like,
Yeah.
unless like Holmes was like pervy, why else would he have like
Yeah.
a child living with him?
And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down. You'll see in his diaries. So I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened.
So where's your old man now, then?
Dead. He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he's been gone a very long time. So I've never really met him.
Oh, right. Come to think of it. I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. Down to the Baskervilles. Iris, this Hound of the Baskervilles story. I take it that's another tale inspired by your father's accounts?
That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow from the other cases I meet.
Oh, how?
I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it and showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I've ever seen him like that.
It was good cocaine.
Yeah.
Pains me to have to say this after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris.
But we were learning new information from a flashback. This is like a first.
Oh wow, I don't know how to process this.
Yeah.
But the story mustn't be published at this time, under any circumstances. Wait, give me just 1 second.
No problem.
But why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say not now, so please do not ask me again.
All right then, I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I'll explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right, at my deathbed.
Yeah. One day after I die will be when
Yes.
I plan to tell you. And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Winterbank, isn't it?
Yes. Hurley said had to be somewhere very safe. You know, because pawnbrokeries in London are like banks.
That really gets my goat, that does. He's treating you like a child. It's me, that's what it is, keeping secrets like that.
Yeah, she's a child.
Yeah, she's 10 years old. I'm sure Mr. Schultz isn't trying to be mean. Eh? If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason. Definitely not some inane bullshit he came up with.
Yes, like everything else.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, you lot are too trusting for your own good. But you can't pull the wool over my eyes. Sholmes is lying to Iris. I bet my life on it. What?
Hurley's lying to me?
Well, because like he didn't say it. Like it's not like he like gave a reason that could be wrong. He just said he can't tell you the reason. No, I want to scroll over. It's not. What is it? It's M. Okay. Your parents. I realize I don't know anything about your parents, Gina. I ain't got any, have I? Never did have.
Oh!
Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we're born. Not even our mums. But we all stick together. The other ones look after the little ones and make us make sure they get by.
So that's why you're a pickpocket.
Nah. Diving's my life. I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we all afford to eat. I'm like Robbo Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it.
Oh, Gina.
You little rascal. I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought it'd make everything right. But I haven't listened to what Iris just said. This sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. I mean, if you know you never had, I mean, you don't feel like you were always wanting to meet him.
It's true. I do want to see Daddy so much.
Well,
Oh, Iris.
turns
Your
out
dad's dead.
you got a wisdom teeth surgery and then drank poison that normally you can drink, but if you have a wisdom teeth wound, then it'll kill you. Sorry to say.
Oh god, I forgot like how arbitrary his death was.
Yeah. Sholmes is lying. Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris? Well, he reckons he popped that manuscript or whatever, right? But come on, that's obviously a load of rubbish.
Oh! Why would you think that, Gina?
It's simple. If that story was really an old Winterbank storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Oh, it's you. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you.
But Hurley would never do something like that, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. The grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars. A lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling you, that mantle script ain't in Winterbanks. You'd soon see if you had a look. Even you think you can trust him, I don't. That Sholmes is a liar, like the rest of them.
Oh, do you think we're gonna like break in
Oh,
to see if it's there?
with all these skills we've learned.
Oh yeah.
If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes.
See?
Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris.
Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Ginny. We should go back downstairs.
Yeah, alright.
I feel like given how time works, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning now.
Yeah.
Please, don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you?
You just scroll over and he's like hanging from the ceiling.
Oh my
Directly
god.
nearby. No, of course not. What are these hanging? Are these giant onions hanging
Yes.
from the ceiling? I
Yes.
just looked at that. Good night, then, Iris. Good night, Gina.
You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning. I insist.
Oh yes, please, I can't wait, Susie. Good night, then.
Oh, we got Eskia in the chat. Haven't talked to you in a while. How's it
Welcome
going, dude?
back.
Iris. Sure, it's easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult with an extremely deep voice. But deep down, she's still just a child.
With her deep voice.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruhodo-san.
We never finished our conversation.
Yeah, can we resolve anything in this game, please?
Nope.
Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father. How long are we going to keep this from her? But also, the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yuma University. It can't be a mere coincidence. John is a really rare name. This...
Yeah, if only there wasn't like 20 million of us.
Exactly. There's something deeper going on.
It goes all the way to the top.
Mr. Naruhodo? Mr. Naruhodo?
That voice. That's Mr. Schultz. Oh my god. This house is double gay tonight. What's going on? It's the middle of the night.
It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone.
Gina? Should be robbing the pawnbroker.
She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty.
Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no?
I think not. From speaking to her before, she's retired. I received the distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. No, I don't believe that girl has gone home, but I've been waiting for over an hour now.
Over an hour? Oh.
If you'll indulge me, look out of the window, my dear fellow.
It's just like dancing in the street out there. It's like, she won't stop. I've asked her to come in. What's this about?
She's broken in.
Yeah, the lights are on. Wait a minute. Why is there a light on at this time of night? The camera is finally going to pay off. Camera that goes off every half an hour.
That's Mr. Winterbrain's pawnbrokery. Also, there's no way in which we'd be able to see that from this angle.
Yeah, this is actually impossible. Mr. Winterbanks. Oh no. It's simple. If that story was really an old Winterbank storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. This was like 2 minutes ago, without telling you. Could Gina have gone?
It seems you have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry? Oh, no, not really.
But anyway, we must investigate. At once!
Alright. Oh. Miss Susato. 16th April, 1:14 a.m. Baker Street.
Dum dum.
The door to Winterbanks, it's open.
And the lamp is burning.
Okay, so
And
maybe...
the lamp is burning.
yeah, I heard you.
Okay, sorry.
Maybe... I'm trying to think, like, we're probably gonna find someone dead. Maybe not Lestrade, but, like, the shopkeeper or, Eggs Benedict.
Flamboyant guy.
Yeah. And, like, someone we know will be the defendant. I don't know. Let's find out.
Did you call him Eggs Benedict?
Well, his name was, like... It was, like, Eggman.
Oh, that's right.
Or, like, Eggert.
Yes.
It must be Gina, mustn't it?
Let us hope it's nothing more sinister.
What?
Come, there's not a moment to lose.
I took 3 minutes to put on all these buttons just to run outside.
Clearly, something is afoot inside.
here.
Oh, yes. There it is.
Whoa. Oh, hello.
Oh. Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes!
What the? Has Sholmes been shot?
Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo!
But...
After them, go!
Right. So it was like a tall... It looked like a tall woman and a short man, right? This... My silhouettes. So the short guy could be McGilded, who actually faked his death or something. I'm assuming the tall woman is going to be the one in the first case. Blast! I've lost them. I tried so hard. Hello, hello. What have we here? Your alarm was just raised from this pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that? Officer! Come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Sholmes. He's been shot. Shot? The policeman close behind me. I ran back to Windibanks. Uh-oh. Oh, God. A cutscene.
Mr. Sholmes!
Mr. Naruto.
How bad is it? Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry!
I really like... This animation is so good. Like, I actually really like this. Oh no!
It's Gina!
Also, Mr. Windibank is dead. We're not gonna...
I mean, he's been waiting to gun around.
Shed it here. Yeah. Please you're like, oh, guys, it's obviously a suicide. We're done here.
Yeah.
Wow, this is the second to be continued today.
Will it tell us when we're like
Part
at the
3.
end of the game?
I assume there'll be like credits for roll.
Oh, okay.
I assume. Bang.
I'll be alright, Mr. Naruhodo. After them, go! Behind that door in the storeroom, hurry!
This was animated so much better before. It's Gina? That moment, Windibank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. So, do you think Lestrade is going to be like she's actually the daughter of the detective Lestrade? Or like, is it just a reference? Like, it doesn't...
I think it's just a reference because the character of Lestrade, I think, has been replaced with What's-His-Face.
Yeah, it's weird because like if they're gonna do like hi, let's change the name slightly. Like, why would they also have Lestrade as the name, right? It would be like if we had a completely unrelated character named Watson. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like that's and again, I think this might also be one of those issues of like the copyright. So like, Lestrade is maybe less copyright protected than Holmes and Watson.
Yeah.
But like, if Lestrade is a completely different kind of character, they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I have no idea. We're probably gonna find out. 16th April, 6:21 a.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy.
Dump.
Oh, Iris.
A telegram came, but all it said was wait at home.
Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back.
When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Jenny were gone. Everyone was gone.
What do you mean? They were next door. They had to send a telegram? They couldn't have the police knock on the door and be like, hey, shit went down. Like,
Oh my god.
oh my god.
I honestly feel like it's like, what? How did they communicate back then? Telegrams? Yeah, we'll just have them send her a telegram.
Yeah. It's like when you text somebody who's in the same house, like,
Oh yeah.
you just can't be fucked. So this text message goes like halfway around the world.
Yeah, to space and back.
What happened, Runo?
Poor Iris. She's trembling.
Yep. As
Stop it.
still and cold-faced
Yeah.
as possible.
She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know.
Something awful has happened, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm afraid so. We're about to spend 20 minutes of dialogue going over the cutscene we saw.
Yep.
I'm sorry I have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windenbank is dead.
I have no feelings about him.
Yeah, who? He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning.
Oh, yes. I had a feeling.
You did?
Through the Force. When I saw those police carriages pulling up outside his shop.
It was as if a million pawn shop fans credited at once and were silenced.
So I knew something must have happened there.
When we entered Windenbanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. Is that a gang?
I feel like that's more like just a couple of thugs.
Yeah. They ran out onto the street and I chased after them, but it was an army of 2 thugs. a swarm of 2 criminals. They got away.
So, it was one of them who shot old Mr. Winterbank, I suppose.
I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Yeah. Also,
Oh?
your surrogate dad might die. You're running out of dads. Let me put it that way.
Oh god.
Why not?
They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect. You see, Gina.
Jenny? But why?
Well, the thing is,
No, Jenny wouldn't do something like that.
I know. None of us think that she did it.
Then why have they arrested her?
Because they think she
Yeah.
did it.
I'm sorry. There's nothing I could do. Susato situation. Oh, I guess with the knowing the story, whatever.
So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene?
In a way.
Yeah. Well, there's investigating going on.
You know.
Yeah.
He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals.
By bills, I mean cocaine.
Oh god.
I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to hospital this morning.
What?
Well, when we entered Windenbanks, a gun was fired, and he took a bullet.
Hurley was shot. No!
It's all right. His life isn't in danger.
Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Is he safe? Which hospital?
He's safe.
I got him. He was alive.
He's a Saint Sinners. Tending to him. That doesn't sound like a good hospital. That sounds like the hospital that would be like in a bad part. Like Saint Sinners. Check out the nurses at Saint Sinners.
Oh god. Yeah, it sounds like what the hospital would be like for like a Halloween
Oh yeah.
amusement thing.
Yeah, like a cheap haunted house.
Yeah.
It's like pretending to be an insane
Like an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have like the spaghetti and it's like, look at the guts.
That's clearly Ragu, sir.
I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't.
Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed.
No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment he's turned invisible. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see, and this is like the early 1900s, so have fun with that.
to operate? Oh, poor Hurley. If only Daddy was alive.
Oh, yeah, he was a doctor.
You see.
It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Winnebank's shop. The whole swarm of them. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see.
The two armies of them.
It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze.
After them! Go!
After that, I ran out into the street, but... well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I let them get away. Not that I'd be able to stop them.
Yes.
Oh, he should have, like, katana sliced the bullets in midair or something. Like,
Oh my god. I was going to joke about bringing a katana to a gunfight, and then I was like, well, this is kind of anime.
yeah.
So, that's entirely plausible.
I think that's a very good thing.
Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Runo.
Oh.
On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that.
No, Iris. This is not a situation.
Where's Susie, Runo?
She's still at the police station.
Oh, why?
I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Why are we not being questioned? Yeah.
Why aren't you there then?
Well,
I'm
I
a
didn't.
man.
Yeah, well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. Mrs. Otto stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later.
Oh, I see.
Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early.
You should have let me know and I would have come to the station.
Well, it does take a while to draft and send a telegram, so, you know.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prom suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they?
Oh, he's not dead yet. No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris.
This is also horrible.
The thing is, Mr. Windenbank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all of the deposited articles. The storeroom door was locked from the inside.
I see.
But it wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well.
Oh no.
And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards,
Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room.
yes, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Well, so it's gonna be like the absolute infinite swarm of two criminals like threatened him into the storeroom and then shot him through the opening that we know exists.
Yeah, and
Right.
she was already in there.
Yeah,
Probably in the door automatically locked behind her
yeah. Something like
as
that.
she was trying to, like, find this manuscript.
Yeah. Yes, the only explanation indeed. Oh my god, I just realized the final case of the first game is vaguely like that. It's a situation where there's a kid in a locked room holding a gun, and you have to prove that they didn't kill the person who died in the room. That's kind of like...
Also, this does kind of mirror the case on the boat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the same like locked room kind of thing.
What do you mean by that, Runo? Well,
What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment. But I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on.
I want to go too. Take me with you, Runo. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting.
I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder. I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Oh, alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me?
I'd love to.
At your news at the prison, Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed.
And don't forget, we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation.
I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Or we could just go to the place that's directly next door first. A new location has been added. The caption is, "This place feels different to normal today for some reason." Maybe because somebody fucking died. Like... Alright, so I guess we'll just do it in order to make sense. So we'll go out in the street, and then we'll check out the crime scene. And then we'll check the hospital, and we'll check out Gina. There's nothing major here, I guess. Just the police. There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Windibanks.
I never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home.
Poor Iris, she's very upset by all this. I'm sorry, I was there. I should have done more.
None of this is your fault, Runo. So please don't apologize.
We all know you're useless. But
It's the criminals who are to blame for all this. So let's investigate and work out how to catch them.
Yes, you're right. Alright, we'll move to the scene.
Well, can you actually move to the...
What? To the shop?
Yeah. You can move to the pawnbroker. Okay.
th April. Windibanks Pawnbrokery. Dun,
Dun, dun.
Oh, look at that animation, dude. People walking around inside the environment. It's crazy.
This is what happened to him last night.
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously renting the place, looking for valuables.
The Armada.
Yeah.
But apart from the policing here, you wouldn't know anything that had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance in the force.
Directly under the text box is it broken something. Like, no, you're right about that. Actually, are you serious? It's like you're almost pointing at it.
In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking.
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Whoa, getting political.
Uh-oh.
Oi, I heard that. No, that's okay. Oh, Inspector, good morning.
I suppose I ought to thank you for the violence last night. We got to the scene before the disturbance at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I thought you'd assigned extra men to the beat around here, Greg said. Now look at what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty.
And let us not forget the guy died.
Yeah. Was there a machine, a disc in the machine before? Or did it look like this?
I believe there was a disc in the machine before.
Yeah. So they might have taken that. I'm trying to notice anything else.
Ah! Your ladyship. No one told me you were coming.
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in that capital are tending to him as we speak.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like, didn't she like bribe him in one of the earlier cases?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
because
seems
like,
there's an inappropriate relationship between him and a child. Just saying.
well, it's like he like wants her to like him because she writes the stories,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. The gent is in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that.
Would you believe it? It's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change.
Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice, refreshing fruit juice.
Oh, why are you thirsty, Gregson? I have some of my special herbal tea with me if you'd like some.
It's like that's in a modern thermos.
Yeah, it's like a thermos. It's like a thermos for like a Polly Pocket thing.
Yes.
Ah, lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship.
I don't even recognize him like this.
Yes, simp.
I investigated thoroughly, but I was 1 pixel off, so we don't count it.
Alright then, let's see what we can uncover.
Oi, what do you think you're doing, Sunshine? You can't touch anything in here.
Oh, but we were hoping to investigate.
This is a crime scene, for Pete's sake. No touching.
You can't investigate at a crime scene. What are you thinking?
What's the problem, Gregsy? Runo's a lawyer, you know that.
Yes, so he has zero authority to investigate.
Oh, I'm very sorry, your ladyship. Ever so sorry. The rules and regulations are authority side.
I mean, also, like, we don't even have a client yet, so, like, we have, like, extra no reason to fear.
Or if Mr. Naruhodo was to have property appointed by the
there you go.
accused, that'd be another matter.
So we have to go talk to Gina before we can investigate.
Yeah.
The accused?
If you could show me some representation papers, I'd be only too happy to let you nose around.
Did you hear that, Runo? You will need Ginny to sign some representation papers.
It looks like presenting the detective here with the correct paperwork is the only way. Alright. We can probably talk to him. Yeah. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector?
Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. We just about to charge that driver we arrested last night, in fact.
Yeah? You're gonna charge her?
That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me.
Your ladyship, as much as I wish to oblige you, I'm afraid.
I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the?
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you?
Ha! How could you? Oh!
What? Okay, so the police in these games are just incredibly dumb. Like, they pick the worst possible suspect, and then they just are fully committed to that, no matter what.
Then,
but like this
then
level,
the actual criminals be either on the jury or witnesses to the crime.
But like this one is just past my suspension of disbelief. Like, we know these people were robbing the store, and we know that they shot a guy. But they immediately catch them and are like, all right, You guys are gonna be trustworthy witnesses on this. Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Oh my god.
oh,
I
my
like
God.
I like though that this is where your suspension of disbelief just finally gets shattered.
It's like, is this too far for me? like, God, like,
Mine was like 10 minutes into the game.
like, I was thinking that like the people who robbed the store were gonna be like somehow like, you know, like members of high society or something,
Yeah.
and so like they would get brought into the courtroom with the police and not knowing that they were the real culprit. But literally from the get-go, it's like, all right, so here's the real bad guys. Like,
Oh my god. How could you possibly know that?
Because you're an idiot.
I had a feeling, that's all.
the story is very predictable in some ways. I mean, never try to keep a secret from Iris, even though I'm currently actively keeping a very big secret from Iris.
Oh, yes.
So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you?
Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat.
And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison?
She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course.
Mr. Sholmes?
Wait, I'm so confused.
What?
So they arrested the two people that they know that shot Herlock,
Right.
and like they're just
There's...
out and about.
I don't know where they are. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't say that they were released, but they're going to be witnesses. Maybe it's like they're going to get busted for shooting Sholmes in the robbery, but if they testify, they'll get a reduced sentence or something like that. That would be what Law and Order would do.
Yeah, but that's also like they would be like the most like untrustable witnesses.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's so ridiculous.
Like they have like zero credibility to tell the
Yeah,
truth in at
Yeah.
that point.
Like, this should be a very easy case for the defense.
Oh.
Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition?
I'm a policeman, not a doctor. Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's been operated on at St. Simon's. Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
I'm terribly sorry, Your Ladyship. It's the hospital's policy. No visiting at all.
Oh.
The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood.
I feel like that would have killed him in this time period.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He didn't seem too bad in the first hour. About a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down.
Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know.
Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right. They've got to stop that bleeding.
But he'll be alright, won't he? I'll be able to make it better.
Of course, Your Ladyship. He'll be alright as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
How do I know? Because, of course. Yes. Because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why.
Better pay the doctors with a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again.
Oh dear, please don't die, Ellie.
I'll report to Your Ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theatre.
Her ladyship. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. This is really weird.
Yes.
What? Out with it, sunshine.
There seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and the way you talk to Iris.
Watch the soft sunny out of copper and we don't go in for favoritism.
But he's right. You do treat us differently.
It's because of those adventures of Herlock Sholmes stories. That's why.
Oh.
I crop in him, don't I, Inspector Tobias Gregson?
Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of ours.
What did you write about the inspector, Iris?
I don't remember really, just that he's an idiot.
It was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson is the smartest of Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what that one line did for me, eh? The very next month my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you.
Oh, that's amazing.
All because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all Herlock Sholmes stories.
Is it just the most popular cop gets paid the most? Like,
I guess.
They even set up for a fan club for me.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All I'd take is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson, no. The great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost to worrying about it.
Well, that would never happen, Grexy.
Every month, when the new Ranced magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, I have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
she just starts writing like a complete shit piece about him. Like he writes a story where he just fucks up constantly.
Yep, gotta use that animation again.
There we go. Glug glug glug.
Ah, lovely. Too very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship.
Is ta short for like thank you? Like,
I guess.
that's weird. Britt, get your shit together. Teetotal. That was a bad pun.
Oh yeah, there's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes? Well, what is it?
I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now.
Important message? I wonder what it could be. It could be from Susato, maybe. Important message. Are you gonna tell me what this important message is then, Inspector?
Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she alright?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe.
That was me, but...
Oh,
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe.
Nope, not anymore. She had to head off.
Oh, she still has the appointment with the head prosecutor. Or
Yep.
the chief justice, or whatever. Head off? Where?
To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. By sacrificing two other lawyers.
Yes, of course. I've forgotten about that. We got Gary. I think he snuck under the camera, but
No.
he's on my lap.
Well, one of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we'd finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there.
Nice.
She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a broom and messaging service.
I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector.
Why did Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice?
She didn't tell me. I'd rather head over, but I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office and fetch her straight away. Alright, so now we have a bunch of places to go. I didn't think I should edit. So, I guess, I feel like if we go to the hospital, they'll be like, you can't go here. Because he's still in the operation, but let's find out. Oh, never mind. That no visitors policy was immediately rescinded. 16th April. Oh, Oh no, my mic's good. I thought my cat unplugged my mic. 16th April, St. Sanders Hospital, Ward 3. Dun dun.
Dun dun.
Hurley? Oh,
Oh, I guess he is still not in operation.
he's not here?
No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she?
Oh, I know what's probably happened. He's jumped out the window. Hurley was being a big baby and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that. A baby or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered. I mean, he's pretty screwed. It's just completely ruin her mood. Oh.
Oh,
Hello, what are we here? This ward is off limits, no visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh?
well, I have you know, where Hurley's next of kin.
Hey, oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am. Sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solver has a mysterious family, eh? If that's how you see us, sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
He's dead. I believe he's currently in the operating theater, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive?
It has been several hours since he went in.
Oh dear. Is he going to be alright?
Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. There's so much blood. There's just pulling up on the floor. There's so much blood.
Oh my god. His arm fell off.
We wasn't even shot in the arm. I know, but it fell off. The anesthetic. Oh, that is. I better report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. A coffee, that is.
Ah, cocaine.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah. Powdered coffee. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
Oh, poor Hurley.
Alright, well, we'll get out of here. Oh, maybe we can examine that chart. So we have like 3 minutes left on the 2-hour timer. Do you want to start a new conversation or leave it till the next time?
I'm fine with leaving it till next time.
Okay,
But
let's examine this room and then we'll wait.
okay.
There's a notice board on the wall here. Look. Let's see. What does it say? Thought of the day. On seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron.
Oh yes, they have rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine.
Is that really? They feast on the medicine?
Or the people.
Yeah.
If you don't do them, there's nothing left to treat the patients.
I mean, I could see that to be true.
I guess.
Even like the gauze and stuff like
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
they would make nests in.
Rats and mice. Oh, I see.
And they carry disease.
Yeah. This is a rather old building, I suppose.
But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear.
Certainly hope so, for Mr. Sholmes' sake. The bed. It's supposed to be Mr. Sholmes' bed.
Poor Hurley.
I know. It looks as stiff as a board, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think that will bother him.
No?
I often find him asleep face down on the floor, completely dead to the world.
Oh god.
I think I'd call the police if I discovered someone like that.
Those big crashes from all the coke.
Yeah.
Oh, a party was just expecting him to be like hiding in the corner.
Yeah. I wonder what these are. Do you have any idea, Iris?
Oh, haven't you ever seen crashes before? Let me explain. Let me explain that for people with leg injuries, to help them walk, you hold one under each arm you see.
Ah, right. Thought they were weapons of some sort.
Why would there be weapons in a hospital?
Okay, I don't think this will happen, but it would be super dumb. What if his his roommate is the person who shot him, who had to go to the hospital and get crutches because the police fought them when they were captured?
Oh my god.
That would be amazing. Thought maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest and been fought here along with his weapons. You know, a totally normal thing to happen.
Oh yeah.
Gary, stop chewing on
That's
my headphone cord. He's gonna.
surprisingly plausible.
Gary, stop! Oh, you're slipping. Oh,
Nope.
oh my God, Gary. Excuse the interruption. Gary.
Gary.
No, he stole my microphone cover. Where did it go? Gary. Oh my God. Where? Oh, there it is. All right. Jesus. Stop, Gary, stop.
How is he so perfect?
He's a very good boy. He's a perfect angel. But right now, I'm trying to finish the show. Gary.
He's like, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah, it's time. Okay. Here you go. I'll be with you in a minute, Gary. All right. Okay. I think that's everything. So next
Is the
time,
chart
no, it's not a thing. It's the whole
or the in the chart next to the crutches? Okay, yeah.
No. Okay. So next time we're gonna go to the prison, meet our client, and then we're going to go to the chief justice, and probably at some point we'll be allowed to come back here and talk to her a lot.
And same with the pawnbroker shop.
Right,
Like we'll have to
Yeah.
talk to Dina first.
Well. So are you free Friday? Or-
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. All right. Then we'll see you guys. We will be back on Friday.
Excellent.
Goodbye.
Bye.